So now we've moved on to the next portion of our program, which is to answer some questions. I have the first question here, and each candidate is going to get an opportunity to answer questions. We're just going to alternate who goes first and who goes second with each question. So Jeff, you'll answer the first question first, and then we'll switch. We'll keep using the timers. Thank you for your help. And it's each candidate will have a minute and a half to respond to each question. Okay. The first question is, what have you done in your career before this election to prepare yourself to lead a government agency with so many employees and an $85 million budget?
No, I believe you read the question correctly. I didn't have to show it to me. I'm 42 years old now. When I was 37, I became the youngest president of a temple in Palo Alto Congregation Willamette, a large temple that has 1,500 members, 20 full-time employees, and a budget of $1.5 million a year. During the time that I was president of the temple, we hired our first full-time female rabbi, which was a little bit controversial. But not too controversial, and she's worked out extremely well. In addition, I was responsible for hiring and firing, and I hired employees, and I unfortunately had to fire some as well. I, with my executive director, wrote a personnel manual, and I negotiated and wrote all of the contracts between the temple and our full-time staff. I learned about making change in an organization. We changed our dues structure, we hired new rabbis, and we changed our programming. And I understood that you don't just make change in an organization by saying, this is what I want to do, and everybody follow my lead. You need to build consensus and get people on board with you and be flexible and compromise. And those are skills that I learned. In addition, I learned about setting a budget. You know, the temple can't print money like the federal government can. And so there are a lot of things, in some ways the temple and the district attorney's office have many things in common. I mean, there are more Jews at the temple than the district attorney's office, but both organizations want to do more than they can afford. And so you have to set your priorities as to what's essential to your mission. And so when I become the district attorney, cold cases and conviction integrity are essential. Public information officers are not.
Dolores?
I've been a lawyer 30 years, practicing here in Santa Clara County. I was a deputy district attorney for 15 years. In my last 2 years, I was the supervisor of the sexual assault unit, where I charged every single sexual assault case that occurred in the county over that time, as well as supervised the senior lawyers who were on the sexual assault team. In addition, I was the president of the Government Attorneys Association, which is the labor organization representing public defenders and deputy DAs. So I learned about negotiations, about labor issues, about negotiating contracts, personnel issues from the labor side. After leaving the DA's office, I was elected to the Superior Court, where I was a judge for 6 years. I was appointed the supervising judge of the Family Division, which I did for 3 years. And at that courthouse, I managed the Family Division, the Child Support Courthouse, a separate courthouse, Family Court Services, the clerk's office, and had responsible for sitting on the budget committee representing the court as well. In addition, I was working on the Unified Family Court project assigned by the judge, presiding judge. But as the district attorney, I have done the job, and I've cut $11.7 million from my budget since 2007. And we've had to focus with the outside audit on more efficiencies and effectiveness. I've worked with our Government Attorneys Association from the management side now, and we've set in a number of processes in place to make sure that we are running properly.